Hello everyone, this is Isra Youssef, and this is an English lesson, and I'm going to continue explaining for you The Last of the Mohicans. This is for grade 7 at Finnish System Schools. Please open your books, page 221. We have talked about in the previous lesson, we have talked about the Mohicans, and we said that it is a novel. The Last of the Mohicans it is a novel, and they made it into a film. So, the outcomes that I'm expecting for you to have after this lesson is to understand the text, to be able to identify the new words, and to put them into sentences. Now, open your books, page 221. The first paragraph, exciting Mohicans diverges from the novel. Now, actually, in the previous in the previous lesson, we talked about the novel. Who's the author, who's the writer, and we talked about the novel. Now, here in this page, we're going to talk about the movie, and we're going to compare between the novel, the book, and we're going to compare between the movie. How did they turn it into a movie? Director Michael Mann has delivered an exciting film adaptation of James Fenimore Cooper's novel, The Last of the Mohicans, but it takes liberties with the story's plot and characters. So actually, the director of the film, who is Michael Mann, delivered an exciting film, and he adapted it from the novel, which is The Last of the Mohicans, for Cooper's novel, which is The Last of the Mohicans. But in the film, it takes the liberties. What do you mean by liberties? Liberties, actually, the rights, the people's rights, the freedom, the people's right they have in order to do whatever they want. And it takes the story's plot and characters, and of course the movie takes the story's plot, the main story, the main event, the main idea of the novel, and the characters and the people who are in the novel, take them and put them into his movie, so that it can be a movie about a novel, which is The Last of the Mohicans. So here in the first paragraph actually talks about how the director of the film, what did he take it from the novel? How did he make the movie? So he make it from the novel, which is The Last of the Mohicans, Cooper's novel, and he took the plot, which is the main event, the main story, the main idea of the novel, the characters, the people who are in the novel, and takes the liberties, which is the rights of the people, the freedom they have, they can do whatever they want. What you see on your right is actually the new vocabs, the new words that you need to know, So write it on your notebooks or on your books, but I prefer on your vocabulary notebooks. Okay, don't forget to write them because they are very important. Now let's move to the second paragraph. The film diverged from the novel right from the start. A key early scene in which Major Duncan Hayward is introduced to his Scot, Magua, is much more developed in the book. Cooper offers a thorough description of Magua as seen through the eyes of Hayward. Embedded in the Major's description are stereotypes typically of Cooper's time, and they add to the racial tension that pervades the novel. Actually, here, the film take the similar things, the things that are in the book, and the director develop it into a different way, which is like it might be not as much as familiar, okay? So he take it and develop it. And he starts his movie with a scene. What do you mean by a scene? Scene is actually a part of a play during which is no change in time place. It's like a sketch. In the first scene, in the first film, the first early scene, in which Major Duncan Howard is introduced to his Scot, when he is introduced to the organization of boys, to the Scot, that teaches them particular skills. So when they are introduced to Magua, when Duncan Howard is introduced to Magua, is much more developed in the book. So here in the film, in the book, actually it is much more developed. So in the book shows us how they are introduced to each other in every detail. But here in the film, he did not take every detail and put it in the film. So he changed it into his point of view. Cooper offers a thorough description of Magua as seen through the eyes of Howard. So, Cooper, who is the writer of the novel, which is The Last of the Mohicans, Cooper, he offers a thorough. What do you mean by a thorough? A detail, every single detail. He shows us every single detail. He describes everything. When Magua introduced, when Magua and Howard they see each other, and they and Howard is introduced to Magua. Okay? Embedded in the Major's description are stereotypes typical of Cooper's time. So embedded here, which means when you have ideas or feelings, you believe or feel them very strongly. So embedded in the Major's descriptions are stereotypes. Stereotypes is like an idea of particular, what you think of a particular person is. Okay? So embedded in the Major's description are stereotypes typical of Cooper's time. So Cooper here take every detail. He describes every detail in the into his characters, and shows us the Major description of the stereotypes of what each character believe in, and what the ideas and what are the feelings. They add racial tension that pervades the novel. So here it adds the racial tension, the nervous or the nervous, worried feeling that makes between the different races of people. So he shows us in his book this tension, this nervous feeling between the different races, between different races of people. Okay, this is actually what shows us that the film did not take every detail, did not show us every single detail, did not give us what each character did not give us each character description perfectly. And the book, on the other hand, the book shows us every detail of each character's description. This is actually the idea of this paragraph. Now, the third paragraph, which is in the corresponding scene in Man's film, Magua, now he's talking about the film, he's talking about the scenes in the film. Magua steps out of the dark shadows and reveals himself to Howard. So in the film, he shows us that Magua step out of the dark shadow, step out of the darkness, and reveals himself and shows himself to Howard. The costume and makeup team have matched Cooper's description of Magua well. So here it tells us that the film, the makeup and the costume which Magua wears are actually the same as the Cooper's description in his novel. So Actor with study communicates the character's stillness and apparent lack of feeling. So here the actor who do the character which is Magua, he communicates the character's stillness which is the quiet and calm, okay, and the apparent which is easy to notice lack of feeling, that this person doesn't have feelings, okay, and he's calm and quiet. The most effective moment in this scene is the look Magua gives Howard at the end, a perfect mix of curiosity and disdain. So actually, the most effective moment in this scene, the most successful moment in this scene is the look that Magua gives Howard. The look that Magua gives Howard at the end, which is a perfect mix of curiosity, the desire you are curious to know, the curiosity of the desire of knowing something, and disdain and the feeling that gives you the lack of respect, that someone is disrespectful. So this is actually what the most successful moment in the scene, the look that Magua gives Howard, which is full of disrespect and full of curiosity, which is the desire of knowing something. Now, this is actually what he's comparing between the book and the film, and he shows us the best parts in the film, and he shows us it talks about the description, the details, each description, each detail that it is in the book, not in the film. So the film shows us the novel in a different way, in a different point of view, but giving us the same idea. But in the novel, it gives us like every detail, each detail about characters' description, about characters' behavior, and so on. Now you have a homework, which is on your page 221, which is the comprehension check. Which filmmaking techniques does the movie reviewers explicitly mention? What aspects of filmmaking are implied? Cite specifics. So actually, your homework, I want you to search for filmmaking techniques in the movie, which is The Last of the Mohicans. I want you to find these techniques, the filmmaking techniques. What did the writer, the director, what did the director use in order to make his film? What techniques did he use to make his film? So I want you to search for these techniques. So search for techniques in making The Last of the Mohicans film. What did the director use in his film making, which is The Last of the Mohicans? So this is actually a homework. I'm waiting for you to do your homework. Please do it and send it to me so that I can check it for you. The lesson has ended. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to do your homeworks and don't forget to check your weekly plans. Stay safe. This is your teacher, Isra Youssef. Bye bye.